Hi, my name is Ilana Fader, and I am a teacher here at JFY Networks. We're in downtown Boston, and JFY Networks is a nonprofit which has a GED program, an English for Speakers of Other Languages program, a job training environmental technologies program, and also a program that helps public school students with high stakes testing. So I teach in the GED and ESOL program. In the GED program, I teach both pre-GED and GED science and math. So today what you're going to see is one of my math classes. The students in the GED program, most of them are from Boston. We have a few that aren't, but the majority are Boston public school students that for one reason or another did not complete high school. They are all over 16. We have a large range of ages, but the majority are probably in their upper teens, lower 20s. So that's mostly what we have. And in this class that you're going to see, it's my pre-GED class. So in this lesson, the students are going to be starting to learn about positive and negative numbers on the number line. And this goes with the adult education curriculum frameworks for Massachusetts. So my students tend to be on the younger end. They tend to have a lot of energy. So this lesson is more active than I guess every day would be. We do, on a regular day, we're usually in the classroom. We do a lot of work just at the tables, on the board, that kind of thing. So this isn't a typical day, but it's one of the more active lessons. And I think the students tend to like it because they often have a lot of energy and they like to get up and do things. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to put these numbers in order on the floor. So I'm going to start.
Oh, we all have to.
Yep, and I want you to put in the other numbers where they go.
I got -2. Oh, I see.
I got mad negatives.
Right here. This is, I don't know what you call this. This is algebra.
Have you ever seen negative numbers like these before? These are called negative numbers. Anybody seen one before?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've seen them.
When have you seen them?
Temperature.
Temperature?
And another line.
Y-axis.
Okay, on the y-axis. So if we think about temperature, what does it mean? What's the difference between positive 3 degrees and negative 3 degrees?
Cold.
Which one's colder?
Negative.
Colder.
Because
Okay.
it's below 0 degrees.
All right. So as you get below 0, if it helps you think about it that way, it gets colder. Above 0, it's warmer. Okay. So on the GED test, sometimes we get these word problems where we have to kind of use the positive and negative number line. And so one of the things we have to do is kind of count distances between numbers. So what I would like you to do is everybody to stand by a number. So we're going to start in the middle because we got to all be right next to each other. We're going to start with the ball at number 4. If we pass the ball down 3 passes, where will it end up? So we're at 4.
Go 1. 3 passes, 1.
Okay, let's try. So we'll pass it once. To check. No, to Charles.
You have to pass it.
Oh.
1,
Right?
2, 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if we start at 4 and go down 3, we get to 1. Okay, now we're at 1. What if we go down 3 more passes? 1, 2.
What is she? 4?
I'm 2.
We start at -2 and we pass it up 5. Where are we going to end up?
3.
Positive 3? What do we think? Is it going to get to Charles? All right, let's try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Okay, what if what if it? All right, if it starts at 3 and goes down 4, where's it going to end up?
Negative 1.
All right, let's try. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these are questions you could get where we could say things like, if the temperature is -1 degrees and the temperature increases by 3 degrees, what is the new temperature? So,
if it's
If
at
it
negative
increases-
one, it's at negative one.
yep, and it increases by 3
Negative 2.
degrees.
So
Positive
1, 2, 3. Good. What if it's at 3 degrees and it decreases or gets colder by 4 degrees?
1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 1.
Yeah.
1, 2.
3, 4. So this is the idea. Some of these questions on the test are going to ask you to start at one place on the number line, go up and down a certain amount, and ask where you end up. Okay? Those are some questions. We have other questions that are going to ask things like this. Melinda's at negative 1, and Cheryl's at positive 1. How far is it in between?
2. No, 1.
2.
We want to know how many passes, like how many passes of the ball is in
2.
between.
2.
Let's see. 1, 2. So there's 2 passes in between the negative 1 and the 1. How many passes are there in between positive 1 and negative 2?
3.
Let's try. 1, 2, 3. Good. How much space is there between negative 2 and positive 4?
6. 5.
Let's try it.
6,
1,
7,
2, 3, 4,
5.
5, 6.
6.
Oh, 6.
All right, so negative 2 to 4 was 6. So the way this could look on the test could be, it's 4 degrees outside, and during the night the temperature goes down to negative 1. By how many degrees did the temperature drop?
5.
Let's try. 1, 4, 5. Excellent. Okay, so if you want to go back to your chairs.
Are these numbers used in any other way? Besides temperature?
It's basically the number line.
You could use it with temperature. You could use, sometimes on the test they'll talk about it above and below sea level. So it's like if you can think of like the ocean,
Right.
the water of the ocean would be 0. If we're above the ocean, we'd be up here. If we go down underwater, we're over
Minus.
here. Yeah, that's another way they look at it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some GED style questions. 2, 4, 6, make sure I have them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so if you want to take one and pass it. And so these are kind of examples of how the questions could look on the test. And I have lots like this that we can practice with. We'll also talk about how you can do it kind of using the number line to help you.
Okay.
Anna is standing on a rock that is 5 feet above sea level. She jumps off the rock. She hits the water and then goes 3 feet below the surface of the water. How many feet did she fall?
Okay, so if it's below the water, is it going to be positive or negative 3?
Positive.
Negative?
Negative.
Underwater?
If it's underwater,
Negative.
negative, it's going to be negative.
So
And
she starts
so,
at 5.
yeah, she starts at 5. She ends up at negative 3 over there by Melinda. So, yes, we got to count it. So 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6,
7, 8. Yeah, so she fell 8 feet. All right, so why don't you go ahead and try these. You can work together. You can work on your own. I can come around and help.
It's 6
I thought we were
degrees.
doing it for ourselves.
If it drops 7
It's up to
degrees,
you.
then what's the temperature? Negative 1?
Or it went -7.
Let's see, which one?
So it's-
No, negative 1. It dropped 7 degrees. Where did it go?
It started at 6 degrees and it dropped 7 degrees. Or
1,
it
2,
went
3, 4,
negative
5, 6,
7.
7.
I don't know.
Right,
I don't know.
negative 1.
Which one is you talking about? -7 or it dropped 7 degrees?
Well, it says the temperature is 6 degrees. It drops 7, so it means it goes down 7.
So it's
one,
negative 1.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
-1.
Okay, so from here, let's see, we got about 20 minutes left in class. So if you want to write your own problems, that's great. If you want to try the ones in the back, we have more, I have answers. I have lots more worksheets with this type of problem, and I also have games on the computer to practice the same idea. So I guess you could just let me know what you want to do. Tell me, how'd you get this one, number one?
I think I did on the number line.
Okay, so it starts at
Well, you can do it here because I put one here.
Okay.
Local minimum temperature is -5 degrees,
Mhm.
and minimum temperature is at 13 degrees.
Mhm.
So
It's like over here.
basically
5, 6,
4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 12,
You got it. The other way to think about it is that, like, if you're going from below 0 to above 0, below 0 there's 5 of them, and then above 0 there's 13 of them, so you have to add them together.
Okay.
So you have the 5 on this side and the 13 on this side, so all together you add them together. We haven't really talked about this yet, but
Can I read you
you can
one
kind of
problem?
think about it like, you ever heard of like a double negative in English? Like,
So it'd be at 5.
Oh, I did the
Well-
same thing.
to see. All right, so if we can just turn in for a minute, I just want to talk about what we were doing today. So what did we learn about today with all this stuff? Okay, we learned about negative numbers that had to do with degrees. So how did the problems feel that you were solving?
Good.
Okay. Was it, who thought this was easy? Raise your hand if it felt easy. Okay. Raise your hand if it felt okay, but maybe you want more practice. Okay, maybe you want more practice.
Does it get trickier?
It does get a little tricky.
Ah.
So what
That's
we'll
the question.
probably do is next week we'll do more with these types of problems, but we'll make it so that the wording is more difficult. So it's the same idea with the number line, but the wording will be a little more difficult. I think so this class, I think it went okay. It didn't go as well as I had hoped. One of the reasons that I realized as I was doing it, and maybe it took me being self-conscious, knowing that I was being recorded, was that I realized that the number line was right for me looking at it, but the students were looking at it backwards because they were on the opposite side of the number line. So, and I'm almost embarrassed because I've done this activity a few times before. So next time I do it, I'm going to switch places and have them stand so they're looking the correct direction at the number line, and I'll stand on the other side. So that's something that I think would be better for next time. But other than that, I think it went fine. I think it gets the point across, it gets them moving a little bit, and then they have time to work on their own. And yeah.
What's next?
Well, for this group, what I usually do as follow-up is on the first worksheet, I have the students write their own word problem. So then for the next class that we have, we'll review this again, and I'll type up the problems that they've written, and they get a kick out of seeing their problem on the worksheet. So we'll probably keep going and do more practice with this during the week. What I'll usually do is separate and have kind of some practice with problems that are exactly the same and some that are more difficult, because there are definitely problems on the practice test that are, the math concept is the same, but the language is a lot more confusing. So I have other worksheets that are more difficult. So from here, I think we're just, with this group, going to just continue practicing with lots and lots of word problems. And so this will just be kind of one more word problem in their bag of tricks that they know how to solve. That's what I think we will do.